It's another beautiful day down here in South Florida. Welcome back, crew, to Boats vs. Haulover, where man and machine take on Mother Nature down at beautiful Haulover Inlet here in Miami. As you can see, there are white caps in the background. We got about an 18-mile-an-hour wind today, and it's going to be a little rough, so it will definitely be interesting to see how our captains fare as they step in the ring and try to battle with the inlet. And this is going to bring us to the first round of our contest. And here in the first round, the boats are going to toss a Jupiter in the ring to see how they fare and see if they can get off to an early lead. But here we go, round one, ring the bell. Our crew is working their way out of the inlet, but they've made a risky choice, especially on a heavy day like today where there's white caps off in the background, and that is by putting some bow riders up in the front of the boat. Let's see how that plan fares. But you can tell as they're working their way out already, they are hitting some pretty big rollers. Cap's going pretty slow in this situation, probably again because he's got somebody up front. Right there they get a little air, come down a little hard, and the girls are soaked. They get absolutely smashed in the face by a wave right here and wind up completely drenched, and Haulover is leaving its mark early on this one. And Captain's going to continue to work his way out. The girls are not going to move out of the bow, but Cap's going to have to continue to monitor those throttles as he tries to work his way out to make sure they can make it out safely. This one's a tough one because they don't do anything crazy wrong, but they do take that water over the bow. Girls get splashed in the face. I'm going to give that first round to Haulover Inlet. And that's going to bring us to the second round of our contest. Haulover has the 1-0 early lead, and here in the second round, the boats are going to toss a sax door in the ring to see if they can go ahead and get on the board. It looked pretty good. The captain has the boat up on plane, leaning into those throttles, but you gotta be careful in a heavy following sea, as you never know when the bottom's gonna fall right out from underneath you and you can wind up stuffing into the wave in front of you, which is exactly what they wind up doing. And that wave almost brings them to a dead stop, as we'll see here. They cut through that one, they come over the top of the next one, and then bam, submarine mode engaged. And unfortunately for this crew, Haulover's gonna wind up taking a win in the second round as well. Man, Haulover is firing already, up 2-0 as we move into the third round of our contest. Here in the third round, the boats are gonna toss an MTI in the ring, and it's do or die. They've gotta go ahead and get this one knocked out, or it's gonna be all over for the boats, and we've got a full send crew completely engaging it as they work their way out of the inlet. Honestly, might be one of the most impressive runs we've seen today as somebody's coming out. I haven't seen anybody really try to send it like that. As soon as they got toward the mouth of the inlet, started hitting those big rollers, everybody backed off. Cap had to slow down a little bit here, but overall looks pretty solid, and they're gonna wind up getting the boats on the board and taking a win for the boats in the third round. And that's gonna move us to the fourth round of our contest. Haulover still has the 2-1 edge, so the boats still gotta step it up to try and keep this one going. But here in the fourth round, they're gonna toss a whalecraft into the ring. Let's see how this vessel does. Cap again looks pretty solid. Got the boat barely up on plane, going just fast enough to let the boat do its job and keep that bow high to try and prevent it from stuffing. And overall, this crew looks really solid as well. They got through the opening part pretty good, hitting into the heavier rollers here on the outside of the inlet. But man, my captain keeps the throttle going and is keeping this vessel moving and looks really solid, and looks back, and they've made it through, and they're going to wind up taking a win for the boats here in the fourth round as well. Surprisingly, after going down 2-0, the boats have climbed their way back into this thing and bring it to a 2-2 tie as we move in the fifth and final round of our contest. And here in the fifth round, we got a special one, as the boats are actually really not going to toss a boat in. They're going to toss a car, as we've got one of those jet cars trying to make its way into Haulover. Probably not the correct day to try this, as it has been firing all day, but our crew's working their way in a little smaller platform, so sometimes that's not a bad thing, as they've got a little more control. And right there, he kind of stuffs it into a wave. The double stuffing, and has to slow it down, and let's see if they can make it in. Goes for the turn, trying to stay on top of the wave, and right there he winds up smacking it into the back of another wave with full stuffing engaged, and they wind up taking all kinds of water over the hood of this vessel. And unfortunately for this crew, that means they're going to wind up taking a loss here in the 5th round, which means Haulover is going to take the win in this episode. Thanks for watching, crew. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Boats vs. Haulover. If you did, please be sure to check out some of our other content. We have Wavy Boats, who does a bunch of great things down at the inlets. My channel, Broncos Guru, does some great comedy boating videos over there as well. And of course, we got the Miami Boat Ramps channel that focuses on all the hilarity that happens at the boat ramps in South Florida. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here.